same could be said for BetBoom. Look, Nafani at one point was in some of the best teams in the world. He was performing at a very high level. He had amazing talent like, you know, Axal and Shiro around him and the rest of these kinds of players. And it's a long time since that's been the case. He's kind of had to build his way back up from scratch, from the very bottom. He's done a really good job. He has some very good talent here in this team as well, the likes of Zorte in particular. And I'm just really curious to see how they do at this RMR, because BetBoom, I don't think will be on a lot of people's radars for, like, you know, a 3-0, 3-1 score. I could see them being there on the final day, though, still duking it out.
Yeah, they just somehow find gaps, right? They always find a way in. And they've got some talent. Definitely some up-and-comers that have been around the block a few times. Magno Jez here, though. That's one I was going to highlight as being a bit of a pistol player. He goes down early. So the opening frag is found by UNiTY as Levy hits him heavy with the pistol. Zorte tries to wrap round the back. P2000 in his hands. Tap shots coming out, softening them up, but cannot convert.
That is a fairly large oof. I think Zorte would have been expecting to get 1 or 2 out of that engagement. Instead, it's absolutely nothing. Siren, though, will lay down the law with the Julies. Another player to watch out for is, of course, Magno Jez, who is top in terms of the stats on this team. Taking an early bath in this round. Chiron going to try and hold the line, but it's Nafani that will show up with the USP and deliver. And suddenly this round is turned dead on its head. Looked like UNiTY were going to breach the door and barrage it down, and instead it's Siren with those Julies for a 3K.
Sound the alarm, he's in the building. Julies firing off. And BetBoom getting a taste of victory early into this opening BO1 of the EU RMR for the Perfect World Major. Shanghai. Ooh, that's the way he got that opening look as well, Levy. God damn. Tasty shot. Same can be said for Chiron and the snapbacks.
It did look as though they were going to fall pretty quick, though. When he saw Zorte miss like a couple of fairly straightforward shots around middle, felt as if UNiTY were just going to make the most of that momentary weakness and exploit it fully. Nafani, in the meanwhile, though, is holding back the T's on middle behind the smoke. And Levy dropped down to 8 HP to kick the round off with. No real investment into this round, as a lack of post-plant came to fruition.
Magno Jez up close and personal with the MP9. Was looking to instigate the round on the extremity push, but knows his boundaries. Falls back, plays for the bigger picture. Looking to make sure you confirm this one. Chiron, nice adjustment shot there onto Levy. That's the opening pick. And UNiTY, with not much time left, and of course, no real firepower going into it off the back of losing the pistol. They'll see if they can squeeze out a plant. Hope to maybe deal a bit of damage back to the economy of BetBoom on the run out here.
Well-timed smokes, and of course the T's out to the open. Realistically, they couldn't sit behind it and wait, especially as they were expecting a flank to be coming in, which was the case. So BetBoom with the easiest of anti-eco rounds. But now they know that was the appetizer. Here comes the main course. It's full AKs. There is an AWP picked up as well on the side of BetBoom. Zorte has that one in his hands for the time being. And UNiTY with 4 smokes. Plenty to make a go of in this round. The players you're really looking out for those of you that don't know too much about UNiTY, there's going to be Mikey. The rest of the team struggling a little bit in terms of their stats. So definitely expecting to see quite a bit from him. 4 players yet to get off the mark though, Jackie. They're going to hope that's going to change sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's Siren with a good performance so far. 6 kills, supported by Chiron here, up close and personal. Oh, he might not even need the backup. Only the spray from Mikey through the box that finishes off Chiron. Siren with a snap straight back in, looking crisp right now.
Doesn't need the backup, he is the backup. Okay, one feeder and Petchin trying to make a move over onto the B side of the map where there are smokes down. Only the casualty of Chiron littering the deck on BetBoom does allow them to stack 2-2 formation. So Magno Jez and Zorte will be here laid in wait with their M4 and AWP respectively. walking out into the open, but it's without any curtain of a smoke, nothing to shroud the initial contact, and it should be easy pickings. 1 kill in retaliation. It is the AWP that drops to the deck. But a 3-0 surely about to be punched in for BetBoom. And there it is, finished off.
For UNiTY, of course, they're running the RMRs. It's every player on the team looking for their first major. Whereas on the flip side of things, back over to BetBoom, Chiron and MagnoJez both going for their first. Chiron's had a couple of attempts. Both playing with VP back at Paris. They made the decision to switch him out mid-major run on the RMRs there, replaced him with Norbert, of course. I think after they lost their first 2 opening games, after the Into the Breach loss, made the decision to remove him and sub Norbert back in. Early nades out onto mid here. Zorte eating a ton of damage. They close the distance, and the Tech9s get up close. You find that opening pick. That's the AWP dropped on the floor. Nade blows it his way. Oh, Peachin. Close around the corner, Vince, but no cigar.
Well, they're still getting success on the side, though, but it's Siren once again to dispatch post-haste of those Ts and dial in the 4-0. He really has been the clutch guy right now. 10-0 to his name. But yeah, that is kind of the Achilles heel of the AWP, realistically, is those run-and-gun weapons like the Tech9s, the Mac-10s. It's very easy to get overwhelmed and swarmed by a litany of Ts, as Zorti found out firsthand. But I've been very impressed with Siren so far. He's not typically one of the names that you would kind of recall as being a hard hitter on this team, but he's doing the work that's required of him right now.
Yeah, been a while since he's been back at the majors. Attended 2 in his career in Rio and Antwerp, both of those being on Team Spirit at the time. Certainly finding his form early here, though. Good start in the initial best of 1. He's farming with 10 kills. Supports enough cash for Zorte and MagnoJez to reinvest and have the AWPs. So a 2-scope setup going into the 5th round. Zorte looking for the initial pick towards mid-side as well as Peachin's on the right. Bomb drop. He's got the util for it and set himself up.
No smokes on middle are going to affect Zorte right now. He can just stay out with the AWP. For the time being, HE tossed in. The trajectory of that Molotov is going to give away Peachin's position. Need to tread lightly. While no smokes or flashes bother Zorti, he can just hold in mid forever, realistically. They have another AWP situated on the B site, but MagnoJez has been put down. As Vlogis from Con will show his hand and snatch the life away. They still need to bypass the rest of the defenders. They've done a good job nailing Siren in the process. Finally has fell down. UNiTY have got to jump on this opportunity with both hands. That's a poor flash. Did not go into Con as expected. Actually landed in the face of Chiron.
Have they over-egged this one, though? 30 seconds left. It's hard scoped in, ready for the peak. Mikey, first to fall, goes out. Time is rapidly dwindling. Nade leaves him on 2 health, but Chiron's able to activate and assist as well. This was the biggest opportunity they've had to grab themselves around, and every time it's going wrong. All in the 1v1 now, 2 HP. If he goes for the bomb plant, he gets shot in the back up close. Oh dear. That is a bitter pill to swallow.
I think you nailed it. You said, have they over-egged this one? Have they overthought it? Have they taken too long? They allowed Nafani to pick up one of the AWPs. They had this great crossfire up on the glyph, which I think was Chiron. It's like, you can't lack the killer instinct at this level. When you have that advantage, you've got to pressure it forward. Either rotate over onto the B side, or A, pardon me, or fully commit. You can't do neither. Great hold, don't get me wrong, but UNiTY are kind of their own worst enemy in that round.
It's only going to add fuel to the fire for BetBoom. Whereas all the paper in the back pockets of UNiTY has been burnt to the ground. Forced back into it with some utility, some upgraded pistols. Chiron jumping on the contact round towards Darkside, tucks himself back in. So show a little bit of skin early, try and put some pressure on, see if they can force a rotation.
CT side of Anubis, and you're already 5-0 in the lead, eyeing up the prospect of a 6-0. No player on UNiTY has managed to reach past 3 kills so far. And that's Levy, and most of those were in the pistol. He got 2 in his pistol round. This has been pure dominance on the side of BetBoom. And the only real close one was that last one, which turned into a 1v1 that should have never have even been close. UNiTY trying to use that smoke as a shield. It's a bit of a safe passage spray. Rough from the Farney, but still nails the landing for 2. Before Blockis comes in, and Magnojez drops the hammer with his M4. The 6-0 dream is now realized. And UNiTY back to the drawing board.
And considering the amount of rounds they've taken, it doesn't feel like this game has been live for very long whatsoever. These have been pretty pacey rounds, very quick. Racking them up early. I'm glad they haven't sort of tunnel visioned into it, though, with how slippery this is getting, right? You instantly call in tactical timeout. Opportunity now to slow it down. If you're tunnel visioning, get that outside perspective of the coach involved. Try and find a solution.
I think the problem is because they've been so lackluster in these opening 6 rounds, like, and like you said, it felt so quick. It's been so brisk. Like, what? This is where Jackie, their coach, is really going to have to earn his money. Because I have no idea what you build off. You haven't really seen that many weaknesses on BetBoom. Like, you could maybe argue the B side of the map, it has its little pitfalls, but oof, feels like maybe that was more of a detox period than anything else. Got to bounce back, and they need success, and they need it right now, to be completely honest. If they go down 7 or 8-0 on their T side of Anubis, it's dire. There's no other way of putting it. Pure and utter bleak outcome on the horizon.
Taking a bit of space round towards A main. With the exchange of utility, they'll stop them from going for anything too bold. Mikey gets a close angle back on Mido. Middle even. Magnojez, he's the one that could be on the receiving end of things. Does posture off, walking back round towards the A site. Here's the utility round on A, though. Get the look in. Spam down's good, but they line up for Levy on the reply. So there's your 2 entries. Now you've got a bit of room to spread your wings. Try and make this play on A.
You've got to grasp onto this. This has got to be clinical from this point forward. Not just the round win, but no more casualties. Allow the economy to establish itself somewhat. And BetBoom, they'll pull the plug. Chiron's down at $550. Mikey takes the shot through the wall. Drops the 30, but still alive to tell the tale. And that will be UNiTY. Getting success after the tactical timeout, making the most of it. And finally breaking the rot of 6 consecutive rounds. Exit frags could be forthcoming. Mikey, though, finished off. And that's an AK that goes into the hands of the CTs. They're making this really costly as well. You won't see much in terms of a weaponry on UNiTY next round. They can drop across from Levy and Bloggis, but considering 2 players, you've just won your first round around like mid to high 3,000s. Pretty dire, pretty rough. BetBoom can easily break the economy of UNiTY right here, right now. Just an evil laugh.
Yeah, just a little grin into the laugh. Okay. The Chiron giggle. All right, then, bud. Round 8. Reinvestments there. Bloggis pulling out the AWP. A bit more aggressive towards mid early as well. Flash over. Mikey tucks in deep towards the window in case they swing. Nafany Could be tested. It's a good first entry. You've opened up a bit of space, and this means they can collapse on this quickly then. Go for the fast hit towards the A site. Siren, he's been a big player for this team. Is he going to be able to find impact here, though? Peek up towards the elevated angle. First headshot's good. Mikey has to reply. Down to the 4 versus 3. Chiron already on the flank. Oh, scoped up. Blogis connects that one.
Smile wiped off Chiron's face. Yeah, I mean, Nafani dying that early in mid is really doing Siren no favors at all. Like, instantly he is into such a bad spot of having to watch 3 angles, basically 360 degrees, trying to play behind the site and find that window, and he did jump through it for the first kill, but it was never going to be looking good for more than 1 frag out of that exchange. You can see what Nafani was going for. If he gets the kill, he looks like a genius. His loss of life is a loss of a round, and that's now 2 back-to-back rounds. They can still squeak a bye together with Zorti up to 8.7k, but it's not going to be ideal, and they're going to have to go through their savings in order to supply this. Maybe the momentum is just slightly shifting now away from BetBoom.
You seize the initiative, though, push the advantage when you've got it. Or will Zorte be able to come back alive with the AWP? Ooh, mention his name. There he is on your screens, firing out warning shots up close and personal, round towards jail, expecting them to collapse. They play the first card, but then they backpedal off of it. See if they can slip out, make moves round towards mid-side again. The A site is where they found their success. These split pushes have been good for them. But it's a bit of a different setup from the CT. Siren gets in, plays anti-flash. And finally there to support as well. Levy just gets absolutely butchered by Siren.
That's the freedom of having 2 players in A main. It does afford one of them to just take the initiative, play super aggro, knowing that if they do die, there's a second player there that may get baited into weakened Ts. Yeah, Levy caught with a grenade out, and Siren, the way he's playing right now, he is not going to fumble those opportunities. He has been on point, clinical, surgical with the strikes that he's put in. 13 frags already on this half. And when you have Zorti having a bit of a slow start on just 2 still, that has been a huge difference maker. Now playing anti-flash. Again, afforded this luxury because Nafani is right alongside him.
Tons of damage done. Oh, Siren though. In this position, unable to silence them. Zorte fires out the shot, but it whizzes straight on by. Nade damage is at least good to soften up Mikey further, but he's got the bomb down, and that's what they were looking for. So they're into the post plant. All about the retake now for the CT side. Up close and personal. Magno, yes. Head split open like a watermelon, and Chiron forced to spit some seeds out from the M port. There's the flick up on the 1. Blogis in the back line with a scope, all on the 1v2, and he's getting peppered. The retake works out, and they're going to grab themselves a 7th now on the CT side.
I think like Zorte is probably saying thank you, Chiron. Thank you very much for clutching that, because he missed an absolute ironclad sitter on the approach. That is a shot you have got to hit if you're Zorte, because it would have just been the end of the round straight up. A 3v1, not even with a plant put down. Could be a concerning sign. Normally a really solid AWPer. Having a struggle so far in this game. Fortunately, Chiron and Siren have been teeing off with a ton of frags. 25 between the 2 of them already early on in this best of 1. So a 2-round win streak comes to an end on the side of UNiTY. How do they bounce back at this stage, being 7-2 behind on the T side of Anubis? That's got to be pretty terrifying, Jackie. Like, if you're on UNiTY right now, you are fearing the worst.
Yeah, a lot to contend with early. For context as well, if Eclot are the team that was winning some of the more domestic LAN events, it's UNiTY that are struggling a little bit more in their domestic LANs. Played at some similar ones, Tipsport, Spring and Fall. they both competed at. Whereas obviously those were wins for Eclot. Same cannot be said for UNiTY. Outside of that, it's a lot of online grinding, in and out every day. Obviously, it can be a bit of a boon, Vince. I feel like in CS2, right, some of those teams that are lower down on the periphery, one of the benefits they have is they just play physically so much CS, so many officials every damn day. Getting those reps in, it's going somewhere, you know what I mean? It's always going to help.
No, exactly, 100%. Like, they come into this having a very good idea of what it is they want to do on Anubis, the executions they want to be playing with. The issue is that they're playing a much higher level of opposition. So plays that they may get away with or the duels that they end up winning in those games will not be the same case against the best and brightest teams on the planet. Not to say that BetBoom are up there right now in the Tier 1 bracket, but a very skilled roster, I think it's safe to say. Got some very solid talent underneath Nafany's tutelage. Spray for Siron is a rough one. Barely scratching Levy in the process there, and Zorti needs to be careful. There we go, lands the shot, but he has been flashed and tagged down, slowed. Oh, he's baiting as if he's pulled the plug. Oh, he's making so much sound, though. Petchin's heard this from a mile off, and he's also putting that smoke down to allow him to focus on one side and deal with the other later on. Zorti, for as rough as he's had it so far, has played stellar in this round, and a wide swing from Chiron yields yet another one. That plant may have been put down, but it's only the T's that are being found and fragged right now. And UNiTY cannot hold on. Zorti's 2 kills, though, man, were so impactful.
Makes a world of difference. Might have missed the shot in the previous round, but that is well and truly forgotten now. Also, I think that could be a pretty sick duo name for Chiron and Siren if they start popping off together. The Siron.
Siron?
Yeah. Sounds like some sort of old god, doesn't it? You have awoken Siren.
Sounds a bit like a Transformer to me as well. Like Megatron, Siron.
Oh, yeah, true. Siron. We must fight for the All-Spark on Anubis.
And the way Chiron was laughing before, yeah, he probably is a Decepticon.
Where's the push out? Can't be in disguise on this round. You got to play aggressive. Magno, yes. Punishes through the smoke. Levy gets one whilst blind. Seems like he's always getting kills whilst his vision's obscured, man. He's a bit of a daredevil in these kind of rounds. Oh, don't give him an opportunity, though. You had this one in the bag. Hang on a minute. It's down to the 1v2. Mikey. Does he have the keys to victory here? They've taken a bit of chip damage each, but converting this will not come easy.
Oh! How has he not got the kill? Magnez basically just gave himself on a platter. Deary me. Can go across as well. The audacity while getting spammed up through smoke to just say, let me just yoink this AWP real quick. Oh, feels like he missed his chance with not getting that kill clean. He's just going to save the AWP. Like, a potential 9-2 scoreline on T side. You're gonna go back and save? Nah, he's coming back through again. 30 seconds. That smoke is going to fade momentarily. Molotov as well in the hands of Mikey. If he can designate that to the right position, there is a way forward here. But if he slow walks out, he is a dead man. The AWP is never missing that shot. Oh, UNiTY. It's been a rough watch, if I'm being honest. It's not been the cleanest of the Counter-Strike, I think it's safe to say.
No, yeah, you've been on the struggle bus a little bit. Not really the sort of bus you want to be on, right?
No.
You know, there's definitely better buses.
Yes.
Probably the mega bus, that would be more ideal, mate. Take a day trip down to Wales or something. Here, Banger's nice this time of year. Oh, God, it puts it all into perspective, doesn't it?
That's more like it as well. Zote may have missed a few sitters, but the fast flicks, no problems. And Chiron playing on the periphery of the smoke comes out. Okay, UNiTY may have a third round up their sleeve yet. They still have to bypass Magnoyez on the site. Nafany in middle, and Siren, who has been a beast on this half. Does Magnoyez know that Petchin is up close? I don't think he does, judging from his movement. It's a good grenade. Gonna get punished though on the retreat.
Thing is, with how rough these rounds have been, it's always leaving you uncomfortable. Varney could find impact on that one. It could have been 10 rounds in the back pocket. Instead, it's a 9-3, slightly better than the way it looked like it was going to go. But in reality, story of the half there, it's all BetBoom, mate.
Oh, yeah. Even with the consolation round at the end, at 9-3 half, with only 3 rounds on your T side is just simply not good enough. What concerns me as well is that now that Chiron and Siren are going to be unleashed on this T side, we know they love to play aggressively. You have to feel like they're going to find quite a few entry frags once those rifles come into play. It would have to be a dramatic switch up. And Levy's been pretty impressive, man. Like, he started well in the pistol. A lot of entries towards the end there on the T half. Kind of kept them in it, to be fair. Not bad at all, but who else? Who else is there to look at from this UNiTY side and say, that's the guy that's going to dig them out of this ditch?
Yeah, like he's been pretty good with the visualization, even when he's blind or sort of flashed off on rough angles. He's had some nice crosshair placement, some good shots, but like you say, you need a bit of help. Someone's got to step up. It hasn't really been much there for him. Mikey's the only one somewhat being able to find a bit of impact now and then. And in the past, the BetBoom pistols have always been pretty clean on this map. Slow and steady, round towards A main early, take a bit of space off them, go contact on the walk up. There's 3 players on deck, multiple angles of elevation and use.
Second Molotov hits the deck. As a liquid fire envelops the platform, you saw Levy just look down at the ground. He's anticipating flashes. A slew of blinding light, but none of it was forthcoming because BetBoom have already dialed in across to the B side of the map. And this is going to leave K-Feeder on the deck, dead and buried. This round looking cold. The smoke also missing out completely, just on the upper temple side. And this could bypass it from UNiTY if they can get up close with these USPs. Pestion's got 2. Mikey taking a ton of damage, but still alive in the fight. And Nafany turns his attention over onto Levy. Had a beast first pistol and is looking to try and make amends in this one too, but Chiron shuts him down. An awkward engage between Pestion and Zorti, tickling the bomb, but Chiron, he's not biting down on this. He's anticipating the push, and he will nail the headshot. BetBoom with a second pistol, and double digits already.
Both players there with 3 frags to their name. As Chiron is able to pick up the clutch in the 1v1. Shut that down, so the 10th round already sent away of BetBoom. Oh, mate. So awkward in the first 5 rounds towards Dark. Bloggers has got himself a Zeus. Hello.
Maybe praying to the wrong CS squad in this round, though. Have to have some kind of like Egyptian themes Zeus skin, maybe. HG designated to A main, and Bloggis' Zeus. That's going to have to scarper off. He's going to see no dice over on this side of the map, especially as the bomb's been planted on B anyway. As close as the last game was, with a different Czech team, obviously with Eclot. This one has been pretty much as one-sided as it gets.
Yeah, they've been in control for the majority of it, really. Oh, hang on. Yeah, Bloggis. Yes, he gets it. There we go. It was so worth it just for that. I think he actually had the Zeus skin as well. So he's kind of balling out, Vince.
I think it's the second Zeus kill that we've seen. We had one in the Americas RMR, but I can't for the life of me remember who it was. Was it Snow?
I can't remember. I think it was Pain in the server, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Inferno was the map.
think it was Mirage. It was Mirage short, right?
Yeah. That's right. That's
Mirage on short.
Outside the ladder room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
there you go, mate.
11-3 with a bye. Mach 10 save by Bloggis, doesn't upgrade to anything else. Still has his use if he needs it. Oh, they get aggressive, but it's a 1-for-1. That's not a good read for UNiTY at all. They have got away with it a little bit as Mikey from range puts down, but Magnoyez shows his worth. The AK headshots delivered, first class left and right, leaving UNiTY shaking and trembling. You can see why they got aggressive, just totally backfires.
Magnoyez hasn't exactly been like a show-stopping performance where he's the one that we're kind of ranting and raving about, but individually he is definitely sort of a player for the future, especially. He's got a ton of talent. Feels like I always want to see the best out of him whenever we have him on the server as well. Maps like Mirage, he's a bit of a beast with a scout, gets in your face. Loves that very chaotic style of CS2. Chiron, though, goes down again to Bloggis. He's got his number in this matchup, at least. I mean, it's a 2v2, 35 seconds left on the clock. You're out on the site. Smoke goes round. Exchange of nades, but it's the shots that connects, and Bloggis is blown away.
I can understand why he'd want to try and get ahead of the pack and potentially deny the plant, but problem is when you're low and your teammate's nowhere near enough to play off you, effectively put this 2v2 into two separate 1v1s. And K-Fila, with $50, will probably just have to save the M4. 2 kills to his name. Rough day at the office for UNiTY across the board. Can't really single one player out here. Needs to hold on to this weapon desperately. He gets the first kill. Don't think he'll be able to get across to the AK to pick it up. The bomb may actually blow it in his direction. Yeah, it did. So he's got himself the AK. And there's use as well. Oh, he dropped it.
He doesn't want that, mate.
Disrespect.
I know, could have at least given it back to Bloggis.
Yeah.
Bit mean, really.
He's got an op, though, to be fair, so he's living it large.
Yeah, slightly. Slightly as good as the op. You know, almost. In the right hands, I suppose. Oh, hang on.
Uh-oh.
Bit of PC touching going on. Could be an issue for Magnoyez. He's looking at the cables. Maybe he's lost his audio.
Oh. Got an alt tab. Well, I guess a bit of a moment of reprieve for UNiTY that can take a few extra deep breaths. Chiron, by the way, 4-0 in terms of opening duels with 6 multi-kills. Stellar performance by him. Siren has slowed off just a tad on the second half. But again, you don't really look towards him to be one of the guys that is doing the heavy lifting. He's done more than enough of what you could have asked for. It's just a bit bleak, really. I mean, you got 2 players from UNiTY that are under 50 ADR. Very little in terms of opening duels. Only 3 players have a multi-kill. But it looks like we're ready to jump straight back on the saddle and potentially put an end to our final opening fixture of the day.
They only need 1 round to do it. Oh, and Nafany was looking to give them a bit of an edge into the 16th. He gets slumped out, though. Left down in the doldrums towards middle as he is punished. They back out from the CTs as well, just in case there's someone else looking to trade it. Fair bit of chip damage onto K1 Fitter and Pechin. Still a ton of time. BetBoom don't need to panic. 4 versus 5 is still around that they could take, knowing how close they are to finishing this best of 1. They want to make sure they let it cook, go bit by bit. Oh, Magnoyez walking out. If he finds himself the shot onto Pachin, could be a ton of damage done. You get that split push onto the A site. No real room to defend it with the backstab. Levy, ooh, just as he turns, it's all gone. Chiron assists as well. Actually, both of them being his kills. So Chiron living at large. Bomb on the site now, 3 versus 3.
Levy just caught with a smoke out, which is so weird considering that mid was totally vacated. But K-Fida from above makes the most of his opportunity, putting Siren into a 1-on-3. Molly toss to the top of Heaven. Could burn K-Fida. Had to drop down on 2 HP. And our position is known. That HE is going to kill him. Almost guaranteed. Straight on the noggin. Down he goes. But there's the upshot on the cross. And UNiTY, they claw themselves back 1 extra round. A little bit of pride being built up, perhaps. They have also broken the economy of BetBoom across the board, to be fair, so there could be a couple more where that came from. Magnayez has enough to go for the hero AK, but there's not going to be much behind that to facilitate a full-on investment.
So you get through the round. You do set yourself up to get a 5th here as well. Vastly better weaponry. Whereas for BetBoom, it's just the 1 AK on Magnayez, and he eats that damage early. HE right by his feet. Brings him down to 54. Could pass the AK over to Siren. They both got body armor to work with. Push on the extremities as well. So they're taking a bit of map control. K1 feeder. Walking up with the M4. Chiron on the off angle. Bombs wrapping around that Zorte that's going to be assisting him. They can swing out, draw the crosshair. Spam goes out, but they respond. Now they've got a bit of room to breathe, Vince. Edge in the round. Minute on the clock. They've bled out onto the B bomb site. They're going to have post plants to play with and an advantage in the manpower.
And there is no option for a save here, UNiTY. Like, you've got to put that up to use. They have plenty of utility and kits alongside it. A couple of weakened players, but they've allowed so much of the time already to take off that bomb. And as you highlighted, post-plant positions are solid right now. BetBoom are looking like they're about to just seal the deal here and finalize that 1-0 spot. Siren nails him with a kill, leaving it all on Levy. No expelling frags from him. And it will be BetBoom 13-4 for the 1-0.
They get it done quick and easy. Anubis going their way. Limited fight back there from their opponents in UNiTY.